It was a breezy morning as Jungkook and Mingyu drove down the quiet country road in their sleek black SUV, catching up on life and weekend plans. The landscape whizzed by, and the faint sound of the radio filled the car, its soft melodies adding to the relaxed atmosphere. Mingyu, ever the talker, was in the middle of an animated story about the concert they were planning to attend. "Man, I'm telling you, this concert's gonna be insane," he was saying, grinning widely. "I heard the lineup is," suddenly, he squinted, his expression shifting as he caught sight of someone on the side of the road. "Whoa, is that, dude, look up ahead." Jungkook looked to see what Mingyu was talking about, and there, by the roadside, stood a girl waving her arms with an air of desperate urgency. She was petite, with long hair that caught the sunlight, and she looked both stressed and hopeful as their car approached. Jungkook, without a second thought, began to slow down. "We should pull over," Mingyu suggested, his eyes still fixed on the girl. "She looks like she really needs help." Jungkook nodded, his grip firm on the wheel as he brought the car to a gentle stop by the shoulder. As soon as they parked, the girl hurried up to the window, relief evident on her face. She looked a bit disheveled, as if she'd been pacing or trying to call someone. She took a moment to catch her breath, her face lighting up with gratitude. "Thank you, oh my god, thank you so much for stopping," she said, her voice filled with a mix of relief and urgency. "My car just completely gave out on me. And I have an exam in like 15 minutes. I really don't know what I'd have done if you hadn't stopped." Mingyu leaned forward with a smile, his friendly demeanor immediately putting her at ease. "No worries at all," he said, gesturing to the back seat. "Hop in, we'll get you there in no time." The girl's shoulders were visibly relaxed, and she flashed them both with a grateful smile. Quickly, she opened the door, sliding into the back seat and setting her bag beside her. She ran a hand through her hair, trying to compose herself, and let out a shaky breath. It was clear she was still anxious about her upcoming exam, but the initial relief of finding a ride had calmed her a little. "Seriously, you guys just saved my life," she said with a soft laugh, the tension in her voice slowly easing. "I was about to start walking and hoping for a miracle. Thank you so much." As they drove off, Mingyu glanced back at her with a reassuring smile. "It's really no problem at all. I'm Mingyu, by the way," he said, introducing himself. He then gestured to Jungkook with a smirk. "And this quiet guy here, he's Jungkook." Jungkook kept his eyes on the road, his expression calm but focused. While Mingyu was outgoing and chatty, Jungkook was the quieter, more reserved type, often content to let others do the talking. He gave a small nod in acknowledgement but didn't say much else, which only seemed to make the girl a bit more curious about him. "Nice to meet you both," she said warmly, her gaze lingering on Jungkook for a moment before turning back to Mingyu. "I'm YN, and, really, I don't know what I'd do without your help today. It's been a chaotic morning, to say the least." Mingyu chuckled, his eyes meeting hers in the rearview mirror. "You're in good hands with us, YN. We'll get you there in plenty of time to ace that exam." He paused, then added playfully, "A biology exam, right? That sounds pretty intense. You must be super smart." She laughed, a bit more relaxed now as she settled into the back seat. "Well, I'm trying, at least. I've been up all night studying, and now that my car died, I was honestly starting to think today was cursed. But I guess you guys are the lucky break I needed." Mingyu continued chatting, keeping the conversation light and engaging, clearly enjoying the interaction. He had a way of making people feel comfortable and included, and he seemed genuinely interested in getting to know her. Meanwhile, Jungkook remained quiet, listening but not adding much, his gaze steady on the road. YN, however, seemed curious about him, occasionally glancing his way in the mirror, as if trying to gauge the silent man driving the car. At one point, unable to hold back her curiosity, she leaned forward slightly, directing her question at Jungkook. "So, Jungkook, are you always this quiet?" she asked with a playful smile. Without looking away from the road, he gave a small, almost shy smile and replied, "Just focused. I didn't want you to be late for your exam." She chuckled, appreciating his straightforwardness. "Well, I definitely appreciate it. You're a great driver," she said, a genuine warmth in her tone. The way he was serious yet considerate intrigued her, contrasting with Mingyu's easygoing, talkative charm. The rest of the ride passed with Mingyu asking her more questions about her studies, her hobbies, and her college life. YN found herself enjoying the conversation, feeling like she'd made unexpected friends in the midst of her chaotic morning. She was especially intrigued by Jungkook's quiet confidence, sensing there was more to him than he was letting on. Finally, they reached her college. YN checked her watch and let out a sigh of relief. "You guys really saved me. I wouldn't have made it on time without you," she said gratefully, reaching into her bag and pulling out a pen and a small scrap of paper. She quickly scribbled something down and handed it to Mingyu. "Here's my number," she said, giving him a warm smile. "I'd love to thank you both properly sometime, maybe over coffee or something." "I really owe you." Mingyu accepted the paper with a grin. "We'll hold you to that, YN, he said, giving her a playful wink. As she turned to leave, she hesitated, glancing back at Jungkook. "Thanks again, Jungkook. I hope I'll get to see you around too," she said, a hint of curiosity in her voice. Jungkook nodded, giving her a small but sincere smile. "Take care, YN. Good luck on your exam." With one last grateful smile, YN turned and hurried toward the building, disappearing into the campus as Mingyu watched her go with a grin. Once they were on their way again, he couldn't resist turning to Jungkook with a smirk. "Silent and mysterious, huh?" he teased. "You totally caught her attention, you know. She was looking at you the whole time." Jungkook shrugged, keeping his expression neutral. "We were just helping her out. That's all." But Mingyu just laughed, shaking his head knowingly. "Sure, man, keep telling yourself that." And as they drove off, Jungkook couldn't help but wonder if he might, indeed, run into YN again someday. A few days later, YN was at home studying when her phone buzzed. She picked it up, seeing a message from Mingyu inviting her to his upcoming birthday bash. She hesitated, typing a polite decline, but Mingyu quickly called her, his voice playful and persuasive. "Come on, YN. It won't be a party without you. You owe me a celebration for rescuing you the other day, remember?" he said, his voice filled with laughter. YN chuckled, trying to resist. "Mingyu, I don't really know anyone besides you and Jungkook, I'd just feel out of place. You know us, and that's more than enough," he insisted. "Plus, I promise it'll be fun, and you'll get to meet some amazing people. Just one evening, please." With his persistence, she finally agreed. All right, I'll come for a bit." When the night of the party arrived, YN dressed in a knee-length dress, simple but elegant, adding a touch of makeup to complete the look. As she arrived at the venue, her nerves melted away, feeling the lively energy around her. She took a deep breath, stepping inside. Across the room, Jungkook was chatting with a group of friends, sipping his drink when he casually glanced toward the entrance, and froze. There was YN, scanning the crowd, her hair framing her face in soft waves, her dress accentuating her figure in a way that made his heart skip a beat. He muttered under his breath, "So fucking beautiful." She caught his gaze, her face lighting up in a warm smile as she spotted him. She walked over, her confidence radiating, and Jungkook felt a rush of excitement mixed with a little nervousness. "Hey, Jungkook," she greeted with a smile, her voice soft yet confident. "How've you been?" "Good," he replied, feeling a bit more relaxed. "It's nice to see you here." Mingyu was pretty convincing, I take it. YN laughed, nodding. "Yeah, he didn't give me much of a choice." Just then, Mingyu spotted them from across the room and waved, motioning them over. Together, they joined him, and YN handed him a small, neatly wrapped gift. "Mingyu, happy birthday," she said, smiling warmly as she handed him the gift. Mingyu's face lit up. "YN, you didn't have to. But thank you so much." He hugged her, then grinned at Jungkook, noticing the subtle glances Jungkook kept giving her. The party was lively, and YN quickly found herself surrounded by friendly people. She mingled, laughed, and even joined a few others on the dance floor, clearly enjoying herself. Jungkook found himself unable to take his eyes off her, drawn to her cheerful presence. She seemed to fit in effortlessly, her laugh contagious and her spirit warm. Eventually, as the night wore on, someone suggested playing a game of truth or dare. The group gathered around, the energy buzzing with anticipation. YN, now comfortable and relaxed, joined in, sitting beside Jungkook and across from Mingyu, who flashed her a mischievous grin. The game progressed with laughs, jokes, and a few daring challenges until, eventually, the bottle landed on YN. She looked around, laughing nervously. "All right, YN, Era," one of the girls at the party, said with a smirk. "Truth or dare?" YN considered for a moment. "Truth." Era's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "All right, then, are you single?" The room went quiet as everyone leaned in, intrigued. YN sighed softly, pressing her lips together in a thoughtful line before nodding. Yes, I am. Era gasped in surprise. No way you're single. You're really pretty, YN. How could you not be dating someone? YN chuckled, a bit flustered by the attention. Nope, no boyfriend. It's just, my older sister is really protective. She's always been wary of me dating anyone, so it just hasn't happened. Everyone nodded, murmuring their understanding, though a few still looked surprised. Wait, so, you've never had a boyfriend? Someone else asked, raising an eyebrow. YN shook her head, her expression soft but sincere. No, never. There was a collective reaction of surprise around the group, but YN just laughed, shrugging it off. It's okay, though, my sister just doesn't want me to get hurt by someone random, so it's kind of been her rule. Jungkook watched her, silently admiring her openness. He could tell there was more to her story, but he respected her boundaries, his interest in her only deepening with each word. The game continued, and the group's focus shifted to the next player, but Jungkook's mind lingered on YN's response. There was something refreshing about her honesty, her reserved but genuine warmth. He caught her eye across the circle, giving her a small, supportive smile, and she returned it with one of her own, a quiet moment shared just between them in the lively room. The night went on with laughter, music, and dancing, but for Jungkook, the memory of YN's smile, and the way his heart had raced when she first walked through that door, remained unforgettable. The game continued, laughter filling the room as the bottle spun around again. This time, it pointed to Jungkook, and Yoonwoo leaned forward with a mischievous grin. So, Jungkook, Yoonwoo began, his tone playful, we've all noticed you've never had a girlfriend. Are you planning to stay single forever? Across the circle, Era shifted, her eyes hopeful as she looked at Jungkook. She'd always harbored a crush on him, even openly confessing her feelings once, but Jungkook hadn't reciprocated, and she still held a faint hope that he might change his mind. Jungkook chuckled, leaning back, but his gaze drifted naturally toward YN, who was watching him with a curious yet soft expression. His eyes sparkled with mischief as he answered, I was single, but I don't think I'll be single anymore.